it rubs people the wrong way if you start being successful like that. And I can tell you that from experience. I'm out in the country and there's this doggone dog barking at me and it's annoying me. And I feel like there's gonna be a farmer come out with shotgun, be like, what the hell you doing on my property with that fancy car? I'm gonna shoot you. So we're gonna go somewhere else. This person writes, hello Casey, my name is Mark Antone and I live in Quebec, Canada. I'm a 21-year-old student in my first year of software engineering. Just a quick introduction. Sorry if this is a little long, you can skip it if you want. I've been into cars for 3 years now and have found a passion I thought I never have for them. I used to laugh at the idea of wrenching on cars because it seemed so pointless. But when I got my first car, which was a 2007 Toyota Yaris, I realized that driving was fun. Yeah. Even if it was in a slow and boring economy vehicle. So I started searching for a fun and inexpensive car to drive around during the summer days. Winters suck here, so I can't really drive nice car in the winter. He writes. And found a 1997 NA Miata. I learned to drive stick, and with a month of ownership, I had to drop the transmission to swap out the clutch in my driveway. Talk about a first job for someone with no experience. I would agree, man. Luckily, my dad is pretty mechanically inclined, and we managed to do it in no time. I even installed some coilovers, nice wheels, and tires, and repaired many other things in the car. I ended up owning it for a year and sold it before buying a 1993 Mazda RX-7, which, apart from a 911, is pretty much my favorite car of all time. I have now had the car for a year and redid the whole vacuum system as well as replaced most of the gaskets in the car. I love driving it and how people seem to enjoy looking at the car when they pass by. Now, I have 2 questions for you. My dad has always supported me with my cars and other projects since he was a bit like me growing up. He loved to ride dirt bikes, wrench, and have fun in his teens and 20s, and I think he wants me to experience these things. On the other hand, my mother says that owning 2 cars, I still have the Yaris for winter, is irresponsible and that I should sell both my cars and get something safer like an SUV. Other people in my family also seem to think that way and don't really understand why I spend so much time around cars. How do you deal with this type of pressure from your family members if you ever have had them, or how would you do it? I got that, I'll come back to it. My second question is this one. I am a man of business. Well, that's probably the answer to your first question. We'll get to it. I make money by flipping things on Craigslist and Facebook. To give you an example, I had bought my Miata for $3,500 and sold it for $6,500, which covers pretty much the whole cost of ownership and the mods I did to it. Now, I paid my RX-7 11 grand, which was a steal, and as it is right now, I could probably sell it for 25 to 27 grand in Canadian money. Dude, your second question is answering your first question, by the way. If I were to keep it, I would probably end up respraying it since the paint is pretty old, as well as restore it. That's where you're gonna start losing money, by the way. Would you say not selling it is a bad move, good move? I'm not sure what to do. I think this is a lot of money for a college student, but I wouldn't need it right now. I know this is personal, but I would like the opinion of someone like you who probably has been in the same shoes. I have linked pictures of the cars, which you can use if you want. I really like to know your answers. Well, let's go for a drive. I've got them. So, okay. Being a young car person with a dad who's kind of into it and a mother and the rest of them that aren't. So, that's nothing new, okay? First of all, I'm pretty sure they all want the best for you, so realize that. But that doesn't mean that they have all the answers. Now, I just said a statement of fact. Not everybody knows everything. I'm not knocking your parents, okay? So realize they probably want the best for you, but at the same time too, maybe they're working hard and don't want extra headaches from you. So keep that in mind with what you're doing. But I'm going to ask a question. If you're doing something that's making you smarter, and maybe it's something you can put on a resume in terms of being creative, project management, the basic economics of business and putting something into it, and it's something you can actually make money on, and money that when you look at how much time you put in it and you like any liability or risk is good money, then how can anybody have a problem with that? I'm just being honest. Like if you're out street racing like an idiot in your RX-7, okay, that's a separate subject we need to address. But I'm serious, if you can make money doing this and you're enjoying it, why on earth does somebody have difficulty with that? So what I'm saying is, if people that are important in your life are kind of wigged out or whatnot, if you can put it on paper exactly what you're doing and why, and there's a financial gain and value, then they can't have a problem. The difficulty with that is, now I'm not speaking about your family, I don't know your family. I'm talking in general with what I'm about to say, so I don't want to cause a giant war. for. But if you start doing really well in college, flipping cars and making money, the negative human emotion of jealousy has the potential of coming into play. And jealousy can come from anything. It can come from someone your own age, someone younger, someone older, a family member, somebody poorer, and even somebody richer. Remember I said that. It rubs people the wrong way if you start being successful like that. And I can tell you that from experience. The other thing I can tell you is if you start being really successful with your cars and flipping cars and owning them, and you maybe have some disposable income, a couple of things. One, that doesn't mean that other people can do the same thing or that you need to try to help them do that. Okay? So what I'm saying is, you know, you can give people helpful tips and all, but it's up to them. Don't help them too much, because you'll be the one that they complain to or cry about or vilify if they're not able to do the same successful things you have done. My other tip advice is if you start being successful with that, no extravagant gifts to people you care about. Trust me, it feels good to help people out or give them a loan. Let's just say a loan or something like that, but remember that negative human emotion of jealousy? Yeah, that can come back to bite you, because they'll start feeling like justified and entitled or not want to pay you back and things like that. So I know you didn't ask for that, but I wanted to tell you. So long story short, look man, if you're making money on cars, good for you. Do it, keep doing it, but always weigh your risk. Always remember, do you just want this car because you think it's cool, or can you make money on it? Because there's three types of cars. Cars you can make money on, cars you break even on, and cars you lose money on. Never buy a car you lose money on. Anything new, you'll lose money on. I don't buy cars that are going to continue to depreciate. I find a nice example of one that's already bottomed out in market value. For right now, that's generally speaking something that's like 8 to 12 years old, okay? And I'll get something older just because I can wrench up cars really well, and sometimes do that because I can, you know what I mean? But you're starting to get into the world of like financial planning and everything of your own, so you got to think about that. In terms of safer, like what's wrong with the Miatas and RX7? They passed crash test standards then. I mean, they got airbags and stuff. Like, you know, an SUV doesn't necessarily make people safer just because somebody's telling you that, like, I mean, you don't live in Antarctica, you know, you don't need a tank. Like, where does it end? You're fine. Just be responsible with the things you're doing. Regarding the RX7, whenever I do a project, I always stay away from paint, having to do paint. Because the problem with that is, I'm okay at painting, but I'm not amazing, and neither are you, no offense. And paint can be very expensive, and it's got to be done right. So I stick with cars that are good originals and keep it that way, just polish them up as much as I can, unless I can do it. Because painting is the quickest way to lose money and time. It goes to a shop, they never want to touch it because you're not paying them enough, and they don't care, or the costs get way out of hand, and then you end up painting it some stupid color that nobody wants to resell anyway. So where I'm going with this is that if you can buy a car for X, let's say you buy a car for $5 grand, and if you put another 10 grand in it, you could sell it for 20, okay? So you'll have 15 in it, but you can sell for 20, that'd be a $5,000 profit, right? And considering the time you're having it. But if you buy it for $5 grand and you put 500 bucks in it and your time in it and sell it for 12, you're a freaking moron if you put another 10 grand in it to sell it for 20, because you have less of a market that'll buy a more expensive car like that, so it'll be harder to sell, and you could have made a bigger profit early on. So what I'm saying is you gotta weigh those things, because that's generally where you get to with paint. Painting is expensive. So the kinds of cars that it makes sense to paint and fix up usually are ones that are worth a lot of money, you know? If it's gonna cost 10 grand to paint a car, it's a round number, right? To paint a car, and the car's worth $20,000, it's kind of a big portion of your budget. But if it's a $100,000 car, it makes it more smarter if the return's there. And if it's a $1 million car, it's like pocket change. Who cares? Of course you're gonna paint it. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of that. But in terms of your parents, I think that's really cool that your dad helps. I hope that if they see me saying this video and saying very honest things, that it doesn't make them mad, because sometimes people don't like it when people speak the truth. Just saying. But in terms of your family, as long as you're being respectful to them, you're making good choices that are going to work out positively for you, then Don't let somebody influence you. And the other thing is, let's say your car, like, I don't know, has an electrical glitch once a year, and you have a AAA, or you're in Canada, so I don't know what your roadside assistance is, but let's say you had like an American AAA membership that costs you 50 or 100 bucks a year, and so they tow it, whatever, and you fix it, and it screws up a date night or something. Big deal. Big deal. Okay, let's say you quantify that as losing $1,000 for your car breaking down a couple of times a year, okay? And that's probably a lot, especially since you're a young person and don't have to be in business like all the time. What I'm saying is, I'd rather have a car that I'm not gonna lose like $5,000, $10,000 to depreciation, and I took out a stupid loan for that I'm gonna pay interest on, and then have it break down once in a while. Like, yeah, I'm okay with that, because I don't like losing money for the sake of losing money, you know what I mean? So if you're a business guy, it all comes down to that. If you're making good choices for your future, you're having a good time, you're meeting people, and you've got something for a portfolio, and you're developing skills, and you could potentially make money, or at least not lose money like you would somewhere else, then you find me somebody to argue against that. And I'll find you somebody that's got issues. I'm not saying your parents have issues, but I'm just saying. It's all about logic and business, isn't it? Anyway, man, I hope you had a little fun. It's starting to rain on the Viper, which has happened a lot because I daily drive it. It's very frustrating because I just got it clean. So, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this and subscribe. I'll catch you next time.